Okay.
All right. We are back once again with the CEA. A little bit of a quicker series there for the corporate side. So we're coming back with the collegiate side, and we have two teams who are no strangers versus one another. It is going to be UCI, University of California, Irvine, versus the University of Calgary's University of Chicago's Omgabananas. Of course, a very fun little meme right there. Should be a lot of fun. What do you think about this match? This is going to be a rematch between these two teams.
It absolutely will be, and it's also kind of an important one. Of course, both players, both teams sitting pretty high up there on the standings. So not only is it a rematch, not only does UCI want to get that rematch come on in back, well, it's kind of important from a standings perspective here. Of course, we are in the first week of the seeding brackets. UC Irvine, of course, and University of Calgary, University of Chicago, University of Calgary, Omgabananas, both sitting there in the seeding side of the bracket. So you want to start off the week with a bang. And yeah, out of the Swiss bracket, University of Irvine was in first place. Calgary tied for second. Technically, they were in fourth place, but in that glut of 3 and 2 teams, but also in the top 4. Well, top 3 actually. Yeah. So Steadfast, we do know that the Zeratools will be not continuing on into this tournament due to the fact that they are just too damn powerful. And if this was one school that was too damn powerful, it'd be fine. But this is, of course, the amalgamation of a bunch of different schools. And therefore, well, they agreed to go on. This is not the right map that they made. Anyway, they mutually agreed to not go onwards because it was just a little bit too powerful. Yeah.
Incorrect map, is it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not the right version of the map.
Yeah. This is the original.
Yes, it is.
True. Also, we have some exciting news for one of the, I would say exciting news from one of the players. Yo-Yo SC2 has been teetering between in and out of GM for a fair bit. He does have that official GM border though. Lovely to see. He's a great kid. Plays random at a pretty darn high level. His Protoss is his weakest race at 4650. His Terran just hit 5k, and his Zerg is at about 5350 as well. So a very, very good player, and exciting to see.
That it is. Congratulations to him. It's always pretty cool when we see players hitting that, getting that really fancy, I don't know, what do you want to call it, gold burning emblem?
Yes, yeah. I would say I think they actually did a really nice job with the color scheme for the GM, because of course they already have Gold League, and you're like, well, crap, that kind of sucks. But you have, pardon me, you have the GM border, which is like, kind of like a fiery, bright, burning one, and this is kind of neat. I forgot that Nate was this player, so we are actually seeing a rematch of the ace match. The last time these two teams played, it is going to be Yo-Yo versus Void. And oh man, did they just play each other on the ladder?
Wait, was this the match that gave Yo-Yo Grandmaster? That they played on ladder too? That's kind of what it's sounding like. No, never mind, not quite.
I was gonna say, I think he was GM before, but
yeah, that would be spicy, wouldn't it? But even with this, I mean, this is going to be one of the highest level matchups we've been lucky enough to watch in the CEA thus far. 2 Grandmaster players duking it out. Void, fantastic player. Yo-Yo, he just hit Grandmaster. I mean, that says everything it needs to say. And yeah, Void, he did beat Yo-Yo in the previous ace match, but that was that really weird build, right? With the straight to carrier thing.
Yes, yeah, the super fast +2, the 15 Nexus before Pylon. I'm curious if he's gonna go for that again. Yeah, I'm just really curious to see what these two teams will bring to the table in terms of adjustments here. And well, I mean, we're gonna be getting right into it. Here we go. spawning up in the top left position, representing UC Irvine, it is Void, a member of Risen from the Gosu, by the way.
And his opponent in the bottom right, in the red, representing the University of Chicago, University of Calgary Omgabananas, and also all inspiration, he is Yo-Yo.
Yeah, this kid is fast, by the way. He is a very, very speedy player. He actually beat me with his Terran on ladder recently, and it was definitely a winnable game for me. I mean, theoretically, every game is winnable below a certain level. But it was a very, very strong performance. And look at this. It is going to be that 15 Nexus once again, where he will just be supply blocked at 15 for a little bit. And we're seeing a pool first out of Yo-Yo, a 16 pool to counter a potential cannon rush. I believe this is the same opening that they both went for last time.
Man, imagine how good a 12 pool would be against Void here. If you know that he's going to go for that 15 Nexus, that is, I think that's just game, honestly.
Well, I think he actually constructs his build in such a way that it counters 12 pool because he always full walls, right? So I think he would be okay against it. And he definitely scouts early enough to see it.
Yeah, I guess this fair. So what, a 12 pool hits around, what, 215-ish with the first 8 lings. And yeah, he would have a full wall off by then, okay.
And he'd even have a cannon basically done. Now the 16 pool does achieve the desired effect of forcing that cannon out, and he will force a second gateway. Yo-Yo does go up to just the 6 lane, so that's totally fine. To be honest, against Void's style, I wouldn't mind 16 pool into gasless into like just a ridiculously fast high drone count. Now, something that Yo-Yo's got to be careful about, and what he kind of fell victim to in the last time they played, is a cannon rush on the 3rd base. And it looks like Void is hiding his probe to do just that, but Yo-Yo is going to find it. Great scouting from Yo-Yo with these lanes.
Absolutely. Yo-Yo, of course, he says, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. We'll find that probe. Now, Steadfast, you talk about maybe going gasless, maybe just going as greedy as physically possible, but there is the other side of things. There is a reason that Protoss players have stopped doing Forge Fast Expanse. It's because, realistically, the minute you scout that Forge as a Zerg player, you can reactively all in. You can drop a Roach Warren, you can walk your Queens across the map, especially on a map like Lightshade, and just do some sort of Roach Rapture Queen all in, because, well, Ravagers are really good against pylons, really good against static defense. Now, that's not exactly what Yo-Yo is doing here, but I'm rather surprised we don't see that. That is kind of just one of those things that killed off the Forge Fast Expand. Of course, you have a Stargate on the way, but that's why you walk 2 or 3 Queens across the map, and you're going to be fine with that. But, of course, it doesn't really matter in this game. We do have a 3rd base on the way.
I actually don't know. He's still building Queens, and he has that drone in position, but he doesn't have a lot of resources. Oh, did he just cancel? Yeah, he just canceled the Queen. Okay, he definitely just canceled the Queen because he had like no resources or like 100, and then all of a sudden he built the hatchery. So he definitely did that, and it is going to be this no warp gate. Oh my God, Yo-Yo or Void, I should say. Wow, that is an absurdly fast 3rd Nexus.
Yeah, there's zero chance this stays up, right? I mean, there's one Adept. I guess the Adept's gonna try to do something. The Void Rate's not out yet. The Adept is just gonna go down.
That is great job by Yo-Yo right there. This Adept may shade away. Link speed is going to finish up in just a second or two. But yeah, if Yo-Yo makes like 10 more Zerglings, this Nexus will go down. And in fact, it may not even need those Zerglings. This is really bad. Yeah. And the fact that Void didn't cancel this right away means that he's committed to this defense. Now, Yo-Yo is actually not going to be able to take this out, I think. That Adept staying alive, it's going to get... Oh my God, he stopped attacking Yo-Yo.
Pulled it away too much. Oh, and now the static defense is coming up. Oh.
That was a free kill for sure.
A couple more. Oh, that should have been, yeah, absolutely. Just build a couple more Zerglings. I mean, not now. I think it's a little bit too stabilized at this point, but man, add on additional, even 4 Zerglings kills that. Additional 4 Zerglings kills off that Nexus.
Yeah, I actually don't think he could have I don't think he can afford to have let that happen. I don't think he can afford to have let that happen. Yes. Yeah, no, this cannot have been allowed to happen. Void playing so insanely greedy, going once again, single Stargate Fleet Beacon, 6 gases immediately. And he's actually ahead in workers right now. Like Yo-Yo is playing way too defensively against this.
We're seeing kind of a weird response to, or a weird, excuse me, what's the word I'm looking for? A weird parallel to the previous game, where Yo-Yo saw what was happening. He saw the fact that his opponent was doing some funky stuff, playing greedy as hell. Now, this Void Ray should not be allowed to get anything done. Anyway, playing greedy as hell, and he did not really punish it on either side. I mean, he almost got the third base this time. He should have gotten the third base this time, and that would have been something, but we don't see a fourth base. Only just now it's getting taken at 545. We don't see 65 workers. We don't see just that massive Zerg economy that you need to make sure you just pile drive Void's army into the base, into the, I guess, into the next era. And, you know, despite that, remember, Yo-Yo did almost beat Void in the previous game.
But he did also get a kill on that third Nexus. That is important.
Did he get a kill?
Well. He did. He did. Yeah, he had to commit a fair bit to it, but he just barely got it. He got it with like one Zergling left, and then that Zergling ran away for a little bit and was a hero, and then died anyways. Now Yo-Yo is going to scout in here with that Overlord speed, and he will see that it's once again this insanely greedy play. I honestly feel like this is kind of an echo of what happened last time.
Now, the one difference here, actually, with the Infestation Pit on the way, is I am really hoping that Yo-Yo watched our cast from the last time this happened, because you and I were both pretty strongly of the opinion that you add 2 Infestors to this, and you can actually bust the third down, because you get Microbial Shroud. Carriers are pretty terrible against Microbial Shroud just because of the amount of damage reduction it takes. And yes, +2 will be there, of course, but they're more like +0 carriers at that point. And when it's +1, there we go. There are the Infestors on the way, Steadfast. This is the iteration we were looking for.
Love it. He's going to be going with a lot of Hydras with +1 with a ton of Queens. I will say his creep spread, since he's going for this with so many Queens, I would love to see it. Honestly, I would love to see him even drop like an Overlord creep tumor right here and just like have it accelerated super fast. Void taking a very quick 4th Nexus, by the way. Greed is the name of his game 100%. That's it. It's just insane greed.
That it is, and man, you know what? I'm going to be rather disappointed. I'm going to be rather saddened, I should say, if Void's able to get away with this again. Well, again, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Void was able to win game 1, or the last time they played, in part because who in the world does this, right? It's just so weird. It's so... +3 is on the way for the Sky Toss at 8 minutes into this game. That's insane, right? That doesn't happen. That is so freaking greedy. There's a reason it's not a thing at the pro level. Ooh, Dropper Lords for the Queens. So that is 16 spots, 14 Queens.
That is a lot of Queen potential. Wow, this actually could get a little bit of damage done, these Void Rays in the main. There's only 1 Spore Crawler and no Queens. Now +1 will be done. +3 is not done for the carriers, but +2 carriers absolutely destroy Hydras. Now, those Infestors, they are going to allow most likely for a bust on this newest base. 5th Nexus, are you serious right now? Jeez. 3 drones do go down, which is nice, but the static defense are not in position. Or sorry, I should say the carriers are not in position. Static defense will get dropped right here. Oh, you got to drop the Microbial Shroud. There it comes down. One of the Queens does go down, but this is going to be a dead Nexus. Now, realistically, Void is fine sacking this base. He is totally okay with it if he doesn't lose that carrier force.
Yeah, we need to see these Dropper Lords actually drop creep, though, so we can get creep spread on in here, and the Queens can actually move forward. Now, the scary thing, of course, is if Yo-Yo is able to break the third base. Now, look how far back he's holding these Infestors. He realizes that if he keeps the Infestors alive, he's actually going to make something happen here. And now he's going to have to drop those Microbial Shrouds. The Probes are actually going to get pulled for this. We need a second Shroud, though, because look how much stuff there is here. Oh. Yo-Yo, it doesn't look like this push is really working, but no, the carriers are going to dive on top of the Hydras, and that's not what you want here. So many Interceptors have gone down, and yes, the Dropper Lords are dead, sure, but the third base is going to get broken here. 12 workers have gone down. The carriers don't have what they need, and Yo-Yo is actively breaking Void here.
Yes, but he needs to replenish those Infestors yesterday. He needs those so badly. If he loses this army, he will still lose this game. 100%. That +3 weapons is looming very soon. Void, Yo-Yo, do not push. Do not push up that ramp. Oh, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, and that's, you're right here, Steadfast. Void, sure, while he lost all the interceptors and dove a little bit too far forward, He did that so he could kill off all the Interceptors, or the Infestors, excuse me, which he did. And now the Interceptors, they're going to dive on top of everything. I don't care how fast you transfuse. Look how quickly this Zerg army is going to go down. But as look at the Interceptor count here, it's only 37. They're actually starting to die really fast. And that is actually rather surprising. I did not expect that to work out as way it did. But now Void here, he's going to have to make a desperate hold. Only 27 Interceptors left, and that's just as many Hydras as there are Interceptors. This is actually kind of working out for our Zerg player despite everything.
Yeah, he may actually still be able to break through here. +3 weapons does finish up, and +1 shields is now done as well. Void is really on the back foot. I'm actually very surprised that this has been able to happen. Oh my god, Hydra speed just now finishing up. These Hydras incredibly slow, but if this carrier count can get back up to a high interceptor count, I still think that Void is going to be able to do it. Now the probes will get pulled once again, and we do see the Interceptors coming on in for the fight. There are a lot of Hydras here, but there are so many Interceptors now. They are getting gunned down pretty quickly once again. Only 26 left, but Yo-Yo's army is getting so low.
But of course, on the flip side, yeah, it's not as many Hydras as there were Interceptors. Previously, there were more Hydras than Interceptors, and it was absolutely fine. But now here, you got to remember, 18 workers have gone down. The Natural is about to get killed off. +1 armor is just about done for the Zerg as well. Zerglings are going to get on top of the 4th base. It's going to be a 1-base Protoss that's going to have to make that just really make that one attack happen like we saw last time. This time, Yo-Yo's getting even more damage done, but where is his army? He doesn't really have an army anymore, right?
It is a big pool of blood on the Protoss side of the map. He is so far down, and we are going to see an exact replica of what happened previously. This time, no insane greed follow-up from Yo-Yo. He doesn't go up to 90 drones, but he is... I don't see a way that he can hold this on. He does have Infestors once again, and as you said, he has actually killed off so much of what Void has. Void only has money for Interceptors. That is, he's not going to build anything more. Oh, but it is really nice how he's doing this, getting all the Interceptors out. We do see some big... What do you call those? The things that you fight
Microbial Shrouds?
Microbial
Shrouds. Yes, we do.
Oh,
but
another snipe on the Infestor, but they do wear off, and that's going to be it. Void will go back in for the fight. He is going to obliterate everything.
Oh, man, that was so close there from Yo-Yo. It looked like he had the move he needed, but not replenishing the Infestors was the big problem. That and not getting into +2. He only got into +1 armor. It was so damn close. But Void, the power of carriers, +3 carriers, will carry the day. And now, Irvine up 1-0.
Yeah, it looks like Yo-Yo. Wow, and we see Yo-Yo with a very high APM there. 350. Speedy boy, doubling that of his opponent. But, I mean, such is the way that works. We do have a really nice Game 1 win for Irvine. It's going to be up to I Love Oof to bring it back in Game number 2 versus No Name.
Absolutely. And now we got a weird map here coming on in for our second map of the day. Unless they banned it, they didn't tell me, which is going to make me very sad. Yeah. Okay, I think I got the right one. And yeah, so this map has a quirk. I don't know what the quirk is.
Oh,
do you know?
What is the map?
It is Maze of the Ancient. It is one of the maps that I'm not familiar with.
Huh. It's from the
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. No, it's one of the maps from the Mapmaker's Delight. The most recent Mapmaker's Delight that Creighton ran.
I believe it's still running, isn't it? Oh.
Is it still running? Oh, I thought he was done.
Oh, I cannot. They swapped it. Every time you are not allowed to have Hope Behemoth.
It is. They don't even say. Like generally, they'll put something. Yes, we swapped map 2 in the tournament manager. But no, that's not how that is. That's not. My hopes and dreams are smashed.
Oh wow! It gives you +4 vision.
I guess there are like things on the map that I like.
Very cool.
That is very cool. I guess there are Zelnaga towers kind of that give additional vision.
That is really nifty actually, if that's the case. And I would love to see that. Now, oh man, Yo-Yo is gonna be definitely licking his wounds, and he's going to be hungry for some revenge, and he will not get a chance for it until potentially the ace match. But we are gonna see him again in the first 2v2, where he will team up with the player that is playing in this match, I Love Oof. And it is going to be versus Lumon and Naokian. Now, that is the third match. We are getting into the second 1v1. Things a little different here on the collegiate side. Very cool, but it allows you to field a full team with just 3 players. And yeah, it just allows for more teams to have participation than CEA, which is always very cool. But yeah, so you end up with these interesting scenarios where one player plays a 1v1, another player plays a 1v1, and then those 2 players can both play in a 2v2, and then another combination, so a third player could come in and then plays in the other 2v2. Wait, is that... No, that's not right.
Something like that, where honestly,
I just botched that, I think, yeah.
I kind of lost track of what you were saying with it's like he knows that I know that 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 he's gonna proxy, so I'm gonna proxy. I mean, that's some SOS level mind games there.
I mind gamed
but
myself.
Anyway, yeah, you mind game me out of that explanation. I will say that much. What I do know though, that despite my great sadness about what map we're actually playing game number 2 on, game number 2 is all loaded up. Take it away, Steadfast.
Absolutely. We have spawning in for the University of Chicago, University of Calgary, University of Chicago, Omgabananas. It is I Love Oof.
And his opponent in the bottom right, looking to take his team to a 2-0 lead for UC Irvine. It is No Name. Not to be confused with Odysseus.
Ha.
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 Anyway,
so we
it's
are
gonna be. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh yeah. Nothing substantive to say. It's gonna be a TVT here. We do see a gas first from both players, and Steadfast. There's kind of a little build order merry-go-round that happens in TVT where a gas first tends to be better than a Reaper expand tends to be better. Oh, sorry. A gas first is better than the proxy Reaper is better than a Reaper expand is better than a gas first. That's the merry-go-round here, and it looks like we actually do see that happening. No Name going for a Reaper expand. I Love Oof going for that gas first play. We have to see how this works out because, of course, yes, at the highest of levels, do we see that actually be that kind of that Venn diagram or that circle of superiority? Absolutely, but it's all about execution too. You have to see what I Love Oof can do.
Well, this actually wasn't a gas first from either player. It was actually something that we've seen kind of revolutionize TVT a little bit in the opening. Oh, wow. This is crazy right here. I'll talk about that in a little bit. It was actually a barracks into double gas. So that it effectively is very, very, very similar to the gas first because you get your factory out extraordinarily quick and it's still good against Proxy Reaper. But pardon me, you still get a very quick orbital command.
And
but yeah,
this is about cool things.
This is a Marauder. This is absolutely bonkers from No Name. And is he just going to walk this across the map?
You know what? I'm really surprised we don't see concussive shells on the way as well, right? Because that's what you do with this build, right? You get concussive shells. Your opponent opens with anything. You tag them with those concussive shells. They die, but there's no concussive shells on the way. That makes this Marauder kind of useless.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Colossus without extended thermal lance. Not as bad, because it's not like you're going Colossus as your first unit, but the the relative strength of these units without those upgrades is comparable. And I mean, I Love Oof has already seen this, and wow, this is very weird out of No Name. It's a bunker, so this is defensive Marauder first.
I'm almost kind of wondering whether we're going to see something really weird out of No Name out of this, like he's trying to hide some tech in some way. Because look how he's positioning the Marauder. The whole point of this is to prevent the Reapers from getting on into the main base, but we haven't seen anything weird go down yet. I'm not looking at any tech and saying, wow, this is really out of the ordinary. I mean, yeah, we got that really quick Evo chamber, or excuse me, eBay, but I mean, I haven't seen anything out of that. It's not like eBay gives you access to anything. Oh, but Hellions going to get on in. The Reapers get on in too. And, well, it's not hiding anything anymore outside of the lack of something, I guess, is how you want to talk about that. Reaper's trying to get something done, but really shouldn't get it. Oh, 2 workers will go down. So actually some really nice moves here. Hellion getting good damage as well.
Almost getting 2 SCV kills. Doesn't get any actual kills with those Hellions. Ends up being an okay defense. But yeah, more than anything, it was I Love Oof looking for scouting information. And like you said, there wasn't really much to see. This NG Bay, I would think that was for a fast 2-base push, but it's literally not for anything at the moment. Oh boy. I mean, that's 2 very quick gases.
We're going to get mech here, and that makes a lot more sense, I think. Now, we have a missile turret on the way as well, which is just really weird. But yeah, going for that additional gas here rather early on does make a lot of sense, right? Well, it makes sense knowing what we see here from No Name. The Marauder first, you try to deny scouting as much as possible. You go for those quick gases. And then, well, you just go on into mech. And mech is so much more powerful if you don't die in like the first 7 minutes, as that's kind of your break-even point. And on top of that, getting the Marauders, sure, Marauders are gas expensive, fine. But you getting that tech lab early gives you already a nice launching point to get on into your second factory with a tech lab really quickly. So it's a rather streamlined opening, even if it is a little bit weird. And I really would have preferred to see concussive shells on that. Just, hey, look, your Marauders are actually useful, and they won't be in this game otherwise.
Yeah, this is it's just a very weird opening. It's the one thing I will say is that in addition to being streamlined, it's practiced, and it's something that No Name will have experience with, and his opponent will not. So that's something. This is a cheeky little SCV right here. This is going to be a proxy, either fusion core or nope, not another base. This is going to be a proxy fusion core.
Proxy fusion core. Proxy fusion core. Proxy fusion core. Now we also see the missile turret coming in rather useful, doing some damage to this this drop pretty early on. Now, of course, there's a second missile turret here. It's just going to get targeted down. Third base is going to get delayed for a bit. Actually, the third base is going to get canceled here. There we go. We'll get fully canceled, not killed, but with the tanks and with the cyclones and everything else, it's not going to get much more than that, but already knocking down the missile turrets, already killing off the third base. This is a fantastically worthwhile drop there from our blue Terran player.
Yes, I would say that was incredibly worthwhile, because now he rebuilds those turrets too. Yes, 8 Marines and a medevac. That's a decent commitment, but he kills 2 missile turrets, 2 SCVs, and gets a denial on the third command center. No Name is like, okay, here it is.
I love this, actually. So when Steadfast, when we talk about the CEA, one thing we love to talk about is how MMR doesn't really matter. And while that's not totally true, given the opportunity, players can come up with some well-practiced counter builds, and that's kind of what we see here from No Name. All right, we got the proxy base, we got the hidden mech, we got the Marauder opener. All of these things by themselves don't maybe make a lot of sense, right? They're pretty punishable. But No Name, he's a diamond player. I Love Oof, he's a Masters 1, Masters 2 player. He's very good. He's had fantastic success in the CEA. So what do when you are punching above your weight? You take a hidden base. You do a weird build. You do things that are going to try to mess with your opponent's mind, get them all confused. Maybe buy yourself that time you need to build that army that they cannot beat. And then you go from there.
Yeah, and there's a very cool thing happening from No Name that's kind of preempted what I Love Oof has gone for. No Name's gone for a very, very quick second starport with the reactor, so he is going pure tank Viking at the moment. Subtract those, early Marauders and that Cyclone. This is something else. This is absolutely bonkers play out of No Name, and it actually may work against I Love Oof.
Now, the interesting thing here is I Love Oof has done the absolute perfect thing in this game. He says, look, you're doing some weird stuff. You're kind of playing, it looks like you're turtling a little bit. Okay, am I going to try to break you? I think he's probably figured out that mech is happening at this point. No, he's not. In fact, he's going to get a 4th and a 5th base already. Of course, we do have that 4th orbital already in his main base, 5th base on the way. So yeah, No Name, absolutely, he went for a proxy base. It just puts him equal with the base gun of No Name.
Yeah. Now, granted, he is actually not mining from those gases yet. So No Name, so this is weird. He's actually starting to mine from his 4th base, his proxy base, before his 3rd base, really. This is just such a weird game. No Name not really making use of all this gas he's got at the moment.
Wait.
Oh,
sorry.
The scout.
That's a good scout. But also, we have 2 factors on the way here from Ilavu. Is he transitioning into mech?
He is traditionally a player who's been very comfortable with mech. No,
2 armories on the way here for.
Oh, 2 armories. Yeah, that's for sky upgrades.
Oh, okay, yeah, there we go.
But he's gonna find this base and he's gonna kill it.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Also, of course, No Name, despite getting that proxy base and doing all of that, well, he's still down 23 workers. It was a pretty cool move, of course, but because he was not really actively producing SCVs throughout the entirety of this game, he's not really going to have as much of an economic advantage as one would hope. And that scan is going to be fantastic as well. He will see the additional 2 starports and the fusion core on the way. So he's going to see that absolutely No Name is transitioning into something maybe a little bit scarier. Now, No Name, he's still on 3 bases. Not the end of the world, but of course his opponent has 4 bases now, and seeing the supply just absolutely steamroll ahead.
Yeah, this is a scenario where I Love Oof doesn't need to do anything except basically steady as she goes with what he is doing already. I would love to see him add on even 2 more starports himself, as you mentioned, No Name going up. Oh wow, those are tech labs. This is going to be battle cruisers. Yeah,
this is quad battle cruiser. I don't even think you can afford quad battle cruiser on 3 bases, but anyway,
nope.
On top of that, we have 2 barracks on the way. I guess that's just to make a wall, but
yeah, it's a wall. Yeah.
I feel like you make eBays. That's a lot cheaper. But anyway, yeah, quad battle cruiser 1-1, gonna be roughly synced up for both players here. No Name, he can probably take that bottom left base pretty easily, but this is again the scary thing. I Love Oof, he's just gonna take the map. That is how you play against mech. You say, look, you're gonna sit on 3 or 4 bases. Fine, dandy. I don't really care. Give me all those sweet minerals, all that sweet gas, all over the map. Let me sponge it on up. Give me that economy. And that's what's happening.
And look at the coverage that I Love Oof has with his vision. He's like, you already proxied 1 base. You're probably going to do it again. He's got vision of every base on the map right now. And he won't get fooled again. As the song says, he's got a pretty small but significant Viking lead. And he does he not have a Raven with us? Yes, he does. He was hidden in it. Oh my god, look at that huge anti-armor missile. Couple of disables coming out now. The Cyclone does help on the ground, but I Love Oof, with the benefit of that anti-armor missile, is going to be able to take a very good fight.
That he will, but you also got to remember the Vikings. Yeah, sure, they're powerful. And actually, Vikings are fairly good against battle cruisers, but Steadfast, we do have... Okay, it's not quad battle cruiser Steadfast. I apologize, I was incorrect. It's 5 battle cruisers at a time. This is centuple battle cruiser production here for the Terran player. And if No Name, realistically, if he can turtle up and get to that maxed out battle cruiser status, the only way you beat it is pretty much with other battle cruisers. Like there's a point where you just have too many battle cruisers, as TY has told us, and it's just not really a thing. There's not a whole lot that the Terran can do. Now, I Love Oof, of course, he is going into Sky Terran. He will have faster 2-2 upgrades than his opponent, and he will have more money, so he will be able to be a little bit more dynamic in his production. But wait, how many? We have 7. Do we have? Okay, we have. Okay, I'm confused. We have 4 Vikings at a time, 3 battle cruisers at a time, but recently we had 5 battle cruisers at a time. So I'm almost wondering whether one of the starports was lifted onto. Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah, kind of a neat move.
Absolutely. So how many battle cruisers do we have on the map? 5 battle cruisers right now. 2 more on the way, going up. Or excuse me, 3 more, going up to 8, and we will have that Viking lead for No Name once again. And you know what? Again, upgrades, economy, doesn't matter. All that nice tank positioning. All these things don't really matter all that much if you have the air lead. There's
just throwing away some supply. Oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely.
7 command centers on the map being constructed at once.
You know what? I'm honestly surprised that we're seeing I Love Oof continuing with his ground upgrade production here. I mean, yeah, you have money will travel, I guess, but it doesn't really. You don't need the bile, right? It's just a matter of can my Vikings kill off your Vikings, and that's all you got to look at now. With all these tanks on the ground, No Name's actually getting pretty close to getting maxed on out here. He will have the Viking lead. He will eventually have upgrade parity, and he will have a lot of battle cruisers, which are being hidden, by the way. The scans are not finding this. Look at the 6 o'clock position.
Oh boy.
The cheeky base.
And he's going to kill that gas, too, with the Marine. Moving forward, taking out some of the static defenses, which is nice. But the battle cruiser count currently is 8 to 1. And the Raven count is not there. No Name will reveal his battle cruiser. Is it going to be enough? I Love Oof has a lot of useless supply in these Marauders, and the tanks are going to start to move forward from No Name as well. He may just basically say, screw it, YOLO, I'm going across the map. And, well, you talked about upgrades not being helpful. This 3-3, not going to be helpful for I Love Oof.
Now, you know what I would love to see here, because we do see a base trade happening.
Oh,
Okay, it's just gonna. Oh, never mind. Okay, this is pretty cool. Now the battle crew. Oh, they're gonna jump on top of all the starports. That's gonna be really cool. Vikings are gonna take an advantageous fight as well. That being said, though, Isla Loop does have the air upgrade lead here, and he is just going to shred things. The battle cruisers, yeah, they're powerful, but with that minus armor, it's not gonna be all that great. The third base will go down. The fourth base will go down. Despite that, though, No Name's army is still damn powerful.
Yeah, and it is important to note that actually No Name did finish up his 3-3. So he is actually, or sorry, his 2-2. So he's actually on upgrade parity, and he has way more army value right now. It is 9 battle cruisers to 1. I Love Oof is looking like he is going to get stunned in this game number 2. Oh my goodness. The battle cruiser sneakiness from No Name could very well just win him the day, and these Marauders from earlier not going to do anything. The battle cruiser did go down for I Love Oof. He is getting blindsided in this game.
Absolutely. We're seeing more and more battle cruisers teleporting in, but I love this here from No Name. He realizes that, okay, I don't really care if I kill the base. Honestly, I don't. As long as I can A, knock off your air army, as long as I can B, get on top of the starports and kill all those off. Look at this. The Vikings are actually going to get trapped on into a corner as well. Vikings are fantastic against battle cruisers so long as they can kite, but if the battle cruisers get on top of them, the Vikings just die here. And now No Name, he's up double the supply of his opponent. He's on top of these starports that are so important here. What is it even called? The cannon is going to knock off the Vikings. And yeah, this is going to be it, Steadfast.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn, this is like Boyd playing Terran, says Lumon. And he's not entirely wrong. This is some incredible greed into, I would say it's a little bit more dynamic than that because it was a little bit sneakier, but it's conceptually very similar, and this is gonna work, and it's gonna be up to the 2v2 team. Wow, that BM teleport right there.
Yeah, there is nothing that No Name can do at this, or that I Love Oof can do at this point. Sure, he's got like, 27,000 orbitals, but he can't fight it. GG, No Name. What the upset is gonna take the game.
Wow, we talked about MMR not mattering all that much, but that was a big difference in MMR. We are talking, oh wait, is No Name? Hang on, No Name's Diamond with Protoss.
Wait a minute.
Is this
here.
a sandbag? Is this a sandbag right here? Because I Love Oof is he's 5.1k with Terran.
All right. Well, No Name has never been above Diamond 2 in any race in Legacy of the Void. He was bronze in 2019 on this account.
On this account, that is potentially some sneakiness.
Let me go back and check my check the spreadsheet that I've been given, because this is looking a little sneaky here from our Amazon and UCI player.
And there's no rule. There's no rule against like practicing on different accounts. That's just something that even pro players do. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
just one of those things. Oh yeah, for sure. You're just
Master 3 too.
Okay. But that still could be like an 800 MMR difference. Masters 3, I think you can be 4,300 in Masters 3.
What's the cutoff is a couple seasons ago. Cutoff was, I think, 4,150.
So yeah, so that could almost have been and it was definitely like No Name was definitely punching above his weight with that W.
Yeah, that was looking very good for I Love Oof for the majority of that game. Unfortunately, just never scanning the main base. He scanned the army. He kept scanning the army. I was like, look, I'm in a good spot. I'm on 3 bases. I'm on, 10 bases? My opponent's on 3. Totally fine. But, well, sometimes it doesn't work out like that. Sometimes you just need 1 army. All you need is 1 army. And that's it.
And, well, I kind of talked about this earlier. We have I Love Oof and Yo-Yo now coming up for the 2v2. And they are going to be pissed. They are going to be hungry for some revenge. And Lumon and Naokian are going to have they're going to have their work cut out for them. That is for sure. doesn't mean they can't do it. We have seen a lot of scenarios where a well-coordinated team beats, an on-paper better team. But I don't know if that's going to be the case here.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult there. Yo-Yo, of course, we got pretty much 2 Grandmasters-ish players against a Masters and a Diamond, and we may just see skill disparity coming in there.
I love Oof literally asking the question, No Name, is that your main account or are you actually Diamond? May need to change some settings to get into the lobby for this next one.
Are you not in?
I am not in, no.
Let me invite you, see if that works on out. Thank you. It's a beta game, by the way, no complaining. Small indie company.
I have to change a setting real quick. Can you... What lobby did you make this on? What server?
Central.
Central, okay. Weird.
Yeah,
I have to do some firewall stuff.
Oh, that's weird. I assumed it was just lobby bug.
Nope.
Wait a minute here. We got a couple people that are not affiliated with I'm pretty sure these people are not affiliated with either team.
Cheeky, sneaky. Oh, oh yeah, no, yeah. Get those players out.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Specifically, yeah, no, absolutely not.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I recognize them. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yep. But now we got our match ready up, and we got ready ups. Yeah, you're in the lobby. There we go, Steadfast. That's what we needed. Get into our 2v2 matchup eventually. We got a countdown, but we need a countdown for a countdown so we can get into a countdown. But will be Jacob's Summit, will be our 2v2 map. This is actually not one we see all that often. I think we did it like once or twice last season, and I don't know if we've had it this season, actually.
I do not recognize it. Taking a quick peek at the map. This actually may be one of the weeks that I was not available.
Maybe. It's a pretty cool map. It's got a significant amount of high ground space in the middle of the map. Actually, this is the map that I was one of the times we saw a pretty cool build. I want to say this was week 7 of CEA last season, not really sure, but point being is that we saw some pretty cool builds. I think this was the pretty much gasless 7-gate double 7-gate charge lot map that I was thinking about. But anyway, Steadfast.
Was it? Oh, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Okay, yeah, you're right. I remember this now.
Anyway, Steadfast. That's the history. Let's talk about the present. We are into game number 3.
Yes, we are in spawning up in the top left, representing UCI. It is Lumon and his partner, Naukion.
And their opponents in the bottom right, starting off in the blue, the newly Grandmaster player for the University of Chicago, University of Calgary Omgabananas. He is Yo-Yo. And of course, his partner in even further in the bottom right, in the purple. Give it up for I Love Oof.
And definitely feeling the oof in that one. That surprise battle cruiser. Oh man, that leaves a sting. That leaves a mark on your soul, losing a game like that. And yeah, you never want that. You never want that. Now I really like what we're seeing out of the Terran Protoss team right here, getting this low ground wall to try and secure this very, very early expansion. Oh my goodness. The memes, will they ever stop?
Oh man, this is pretty cool here. UCI has very clearly done their homework in this series, right? And in part, well, Jake, this actually looks like a really prepared build for the map, because you get one pretty easy expansion for both players here, but why take the expansion early when you can take it later? Right, that makes a lot of sense. You take the difficult to take base earlier on, so you can take the safer base later. We've seen that in 1v1 maps all the time. And what is a spookier map? Wait, is Yo-Yo gonna find this? Take a look at the Zerglings on the bottom side.
Oh my God, he's okay. I don't think so. I think he's looking for proxy Stargates.
Oh, wait. Oh, he's gonna get it.
Oh, only one Zergling. But yeah, he will find us. Now, will the command center finish? That is actually a really, really important piece of the puzzle right here. And I think it will.
Now, the question, though, is which is better, right? Because this is never going to mine from the position. I guess you do want it to finish because then you can lift it up and put it in your normal natural. But, yeah, this is going to get found. Going to get canned. I think you just complete the orbital right there. I don't think it makes a difference.
Yeah,
but
no,
anyway.
I would have definitely with only one ling, you complete the orbital for sure. It is going to lose out on so much time. Now, this is a little bit awkward for Lumon right here. Going to check up this ramp against Double Reaper. And I Love Oof will get a nice little trade right there. There's no units on the map right now. No, sorry, 2 Marines. I Love Oof has a lot of potential to get a lot done. Oh, doesn't. That's a disappointing mistake right there. Gonna let that SCV go. And wow, this is kind of funky. They elect to actually drop a mule at this base. This is a foolish move.
This is pretty fun. Yeah. Now, you say that the Reapers have a good potential to get something done here, and that's true, but I don't really... Are there any Reaper cliffs outside of the natural? There are not really any Reaper cliffs outside of the main and the natural here. So, you say the Reapers could get something done, but Reapers actually cannot get into the main base at all on this map, especially not with the cannon. They're not if there's something in the wall. So, yeah. Maybe they could get something done there if they could get in, but they can't. This is absolutely a fortress here for the first 2 bases of either team.
Yeah, it is. It's very difficult to get in. When I was saying that there was no unit at the wall, the 2 Marines were right here. I was expecting him to drive those. Yeah, just run the Reapers in to the natural and find a little bit of value, but not going to be the case. Lumon will finally land this command center in its actual proper location. But that's a lot of resources that have not paid off.
But that's not even the proper location. That's not the safe base. Now Kian will take his 3rd at 4:30, so that's going to be pretty quickly. But that's kind of where this base wants to be, right? Like that's how that works. You take the free natural for both players. But now Lumon just seems like ideologically opposed to taking safe bases in this map. And well, yeah, I guess more power to him. We got multiple Stargate play coming in here from now. Kian +1 is already on the way. I don't believe there was Warp Gate was done. Never mind. But +1's now on the way. Oracle's first, and now I'm really curious to see whether it will be kind of a mass Oracle style that we occasionally see even at the pro level, or whether it's going to be something a little bit more standard out of those Stargates.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I am not too sure. He is getting +1 air, so the Oracles don't... mass Oracle would not make sense, like, at all. But... it still could be, in theory, and then a transition into some other kind of sky toss. Oh, Fleet Beacon coming down. Okay. And +1 shields. Wow, okay, so this is either going to be Void Rays or Carriers straight up into him.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? If you have designed your build, so now Kian can pretty much take 3 bases for free, yeah, might as well be a little bit greedy. Now, the Reapers will find their way on in here. There's actually nothing here that can defend this, so this is going to be a lot of SCV damage going on in here. Now the Stalkers are going to show up a little bit, ward these Reapers off. But how many went down? 6 SCVs have already died. That's not bad, especially with the Reapers surviving.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good actually. Lumon's really far behind relative to everyone else's supply. He's building a 4th command center. What? 2 factories, so he's gonna try and just help his ally turtle up into this sky toss. Now, what is now Kian? It's got to be Carriers, but he's not started them yet.
Yeah, I don't really know what's happening with this. Now, I would not be surprised to see Lumon just feeding all the money, getting as many orbitals as possible, dropping all of those mules, and just, hammering those minerals, hammering that gas into his partner so he can just max out on Carriers really quickly. There we go. Carriers are on the way into 4th Stargate as well. So this all leads to that idea that we're just feeding the Protoss. We're getting into mass carrier tech early and often. But I worry that, especially with the supply block that we got here, that it's not really going to get there. That's a planetary, the natural.
Yeah. I mean, technically, it's the 3rd base. But it's like...
It's the 4th time he's tried to take the base.
Well, it's the 2nd base he's taken, 4th time or 3rd base he's tried to secure with it. It's in a 3rd base location. And regardless of all of that shenanigans, I Love Oof is going to siege it up, and there's not a lot that can be done. Oh, this Raven. Yeah, don't put it on hold position. Get that. Oh, wow. Ooh, it actually baits the Stalkers to their death. Now you move forward with the Raven, and you start picking down SCVs is what you do as Isla Luke.
Well, we got a bunch of files here coming on into. That's a really nice move. It's just about road traffic or tank push. And all this is saying is, like, I don't care that you go into Sky Toss. I'm just going to kill you beforehand. But, you know what? We're going to have those carriers out pretty quickly. One carrier is already out. We do have 3 more on the way. +1 air attack is done. And there are submarines here, sure. Actually, you don't want to take that engagement with 1 carrier. You want to wait until you've got those 4. But it looks like 1 tank will go down. Not quite. Never mind.
No, Marines have pretty good DPS against carriers. That Raven almost getting picked off right there. And, oh, it's getting microed back. Yeah, use the Marines. You have them for that purpose. Big flank of Roaches and Ravagers. Kind of a little bit over-aggressive, I would say. Oh, but nice Gross Files. Will take down that tank. And going to be a pretty good trade, I would say, there for the Zerg. Will get cleaned up, but he's going to take down a lot of Naukian stuff.
Absolutely, and these carriers will eventually be powerful. Don't get me wrong, but Steadfast, they are suiciding their interceptors into the Terran army before they can really get that critical mass. And yes, once that critical mass is there, don't get me wrong, it's going to be strong, especially with how much money is going on into Naukian. I'm convinced here that Luman is just giving his money to his opponent, to his partner. But they were, oh, Stalkers will move forward to eat the tank shots, I guess, instead of the planetary. But actually, yeah, Naukian, he has the money for these interceptors.
Stop sending just individual interceptors, please. Oh, God. Will clear the tanks out, but he loses. How many interceptors have gone down? 33 interceptors have gone down for effectively 3 tanks. Oh, and this is going to be a big stim forward. There is no interceptors on the field. Now, these tanks, one of them is sieged, and wow, that was kind of a sloppy fight. I thought that would go a little bit better for Isla, Voof, and Yo-Yo, but they are pushing into just one angle. Even though, man, this planetary it's probably had, what do you think, 10,000 worth of damage that it's soaked?
Probably. It has soaked a ton. Now, we do have all of these orbitals, of course, but the main base and I guess this is the natural here of Luman are mining up, but look at this. Luman proxy bases once again in the left-hand position here. Gonna move one of those orbitals over, drop all the mules, and it's gonna get scouted. Of course, it's gonna get scouted immediately. Yo-Yo and Isla move.
There was already a Ling on patrol. Like, it knew what was up. And, well, that's gonna let the Zerg Terran take this out. Luman will get the kill there, but does lose an SCV. And Corruptors are going to be the weapon of choice for Yo-Yo. Now, he doesn't yet have the critical mass needed. Okay, well, as I say that, that's actually 18 Corruptors, so never mind. He definitely has the critical mass.
Well, it doesn't even matter because the carriers are out of position. So the Roaches are going to try to show on up here. The base will get lifted. The tanks are not in position here. Oh, yeah, the carriers are going to...
5 Vikings going to get picked off there.
Yeah, they will. And oh, so many SCVs. How many SCVs have died here from Luman this game? 32. And the base goes down as well because why not? Bases don't get taken in this game. But you know what? Isla Voof, Yo-Yo, they have suffered from knocking out all their opponents' bases and still losing the game anyways. I hope I'm not summoning something here, but that is how those first 2 games went. So we're going to have to see whether that's going to happen once again. But the Corruptors are just going to die on top of these carriers. Carriers are powerful, sure, but not against Corruptors, not until they have Storm. So all the carriers are just going to get absolutely shredded here. And I'm casting this at 1 FPS. Take it away, Steadfast.
Yeah, that was very, very brutal right there. And that's part of the reason why losing those Vikings was such a big deal. Nothing to cover for the carriers. Like you said, no Storm on the map. Oh, these carriers are looking to get super mega flanked right now, potentially. Huge anti-armor missile all over the Protoss force. Now, okay, they will pull back behind the tanks, which means that, oh, nice interference matrix is going to come down. We are going to see Yo-Yo and Isla Voof stomp on forward. Tanks will siege up in the background. Luman has a lot of tanks helping out, but the Marine count is so high, and that Corruptor count, I think, is going to be just enough to break on through. No interceptors left over. Corruptor count has been decimated, but it doesn't matter. They're getting healed by Medivacs. Oh, you'll love to see it.
I did not know that was an interaction. That's pretty cool. You don't think of Medivacs being able to do anything to the sky, right? But no, they will. That is actually pretty damn cool. I've never seen that before.
And that was really helpful. Now the Corruptor's saying, thanks for the healing, bye, and leaves them to those Vikings. Isla Voof will show up with the Marines, but they're like, come on, guys, we helped you so much. We provided surgery, interspecies surgery mid-air, air-to-air, and you guys were like, nah, we got places to be.
Now we have Thor's on the way here for our green Terran play. I guess he's like, look, if I can knock out everything from the sky, the carriers will be strong, but that is not very true. As it looks like the Corruptors are going to try to shark around somewhere. I lost track of them, but yeah, they're going to be on the left-hand side, getting that flank on in, I guess. But honestly, we're at the point where either Yo-Yo or Islavu could win this game against against the other two teams combined. And you know what, Steadfast, it looks like here, both players have kind of realized that, okay, well, we played this game where we overexpanded, and we ended our opponent actually mining anything, and then it didn't end up working out because, well, our opponent just kind of killed us with some big Death Ball army. Well, what if the two of us learn how to deal with this? Maybe we'll be able to actually counter that strat, and it looks like they will be able to do so. There's just not a lot here left for now. Gekana and Luma. Now, of course, the mothership's nice, but Terrans have scans, Steadfast.
Yeah, that they do. And, I mean, not being used at the moment. So the interceptors are basically, it's basically until the interceptors get too far forward that they're dying. Like, they're staying alive until then. But here come the Corruptors. We're going to see the minus 400 immediately in just 2 volleys. And the carriers will get obliterated. I Love Oof with a huge Marine count is going to be able to take this out. Does actually eat some big shots, so the tanks will hold on the ground. And there's nothing to transition those Corruptors into. But the carriers that will pop out will continue to get wrecked.
I'm actually really surprised that he didn't just target down the tanks, instead targeting down those carriers, when, of course, Islavu has Corruptors in the sky, and there were no interceptors left on the carriers. I'm not exactly sure why we saw that happen, but
yeah,
it extends the game. That being said, though, I Love Oof is gonna max up pretty quickly once again. Yo-Yo has
106
more than enough
drones.
money.
He's on 106 drones right now. Look at this. Look at his ridiculousness. Oh my god. How many gases is he mining from? I wasn't even paying attention. He's got 2,300 gas a minute.
He is mining more gas by himself than the entire enemy team is mining together. That's just the situation that we are in this game. As now the Corruptors, they're going to piss on some things. They're going to say, yeah, you didn't want those production structures, did you? Nah, you didn't. And the carriers are going to try to react to it, but I'll give you one guess as to how well carriers react to a bunch of Corruptors killing buildings. The answer is they don't, Steadfast. I don't even feel the need to give you the guess here. Now the Bio's going to stim on in, do what they can on in some tank fire, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters. Now the Thors are actually fighting pretty hard here, and the tanks are going to go down. The Zealots actually, wait, is that charge?
Yep.
There is charge. This is actually, I mean, Lumon and Naokian, they're doing a decent job of holding here, but again, it doesn't matter. Yo-Yo, he's at 10k, 5k. He has so much money that it doesn't really matter how poorly Isla Boof and Yo-Yo trade, because there's always going to be more where it came from.
Yeah, Yo-Yo needs to start sharing some of that with Isla Voof. Isla Voof is broke as a joke, and Yo-Yo's like, yes, I am Melvin Capital. I have a hedge fund. I'm ready to go. Yo-Yo's like, I'm going to take 2 more bases, because why not? This is just getting silly at this point. Yo-Yo's bank is ludicrous. And there we go. Broodlord transition will come in. Nice job morphing the wounded Corruptors. And that's going to be the final nail in the coffin. That's a fact.
I mean, is it honestly the things that have been really bothering I Love Oof here and Yo-Yo have been the carriers, have been the Thors, have been the Vikings, not necessarily anything that Broodlords are really good at. And actually, you're just taking away from your Corruptor force. Now, of course, I mean, how many tanks are there left here? There are 4 tanks left, and yes, the Broodlords will do well with that. Actually, they're going to snatch up one pretty quickly, but you know what? Yes, this is a turtling player, but I don't really think the Broodlords are the massive difference maker that they would normally be. But maybe I just don't believe in Broodlords. So
yeah, I know the feeling of oh, I'm also getting some FPS drop, or is that someone else getting FPS? No, I'm not getting FPS drop. That is lag. Someone is lagging for sure. But it doesn't matter. We will have I Love Oof battering through on the left side, and that is going to be GG. It was a long time coming, but I Love Oof and Yo-Yo get their revenge and will put their team on the map. What a ludicrous game. What a ludicrous series this has been so far. Kind of just like pure silliness.
Not wrong, but Steadfast, now I'm a little bit worried for Calgary, or Chicago, because it's now Maladroit and Rooster playing against Void and No Name, and I cannot help but wonder whether University of Chicago have shot their bullet a little bit too soon in the 2v2s.
I think that there is a good chance that they have Void and No Name on. If they win, they would have single-handedly carried the day with that, which is kind of a cool concept. But it's not over. It's not like, you know, it's unwinnable. And Void does have a style that I don't know how well it would. Actually, it kind of feels like a 2v2 style that's being played in 1v1. So actually, I was going to say I don't know how well it'll be translated. It's actually probably going to be translated extraordinarily well. It's probably going to go very well for Void.
Yeah, just the turtle up, get up into carriers, and end the game. Well, that sounds about right. Now, in the tournament manager, now it's saying swap map too, but they said that after I made the map, so no excuses.
I love Oof saying Rooster and I have to share a mouse pad. That is pretty funny there. Rooster is a Masters 3 Protoss, and Maladroit is a I believe Platinum Zerg. So gonna be an uphill battle, to say the least, against Void and No Name, who both beat 5K plus players in their 1v1.
That they did. Now, you know, actually, no one will see this, but the reason Steadfast was, of course, confused was the wonderful bug that had gold and platinum players getting Masters portraits at the start of the season. Rooster saying he's never been more ready. Well, they're gonna need it. But yeah, so it's a little bit confusing. You look at these players like, wow, congratulations, you really have improved, and then you click on their profile and you're like, oh well, they have improved, but they haven't gone up like 3 leagues in the span of a month.
Yeah, they didn't go up 2,000 MMR or like wait, what would that be? 20? Yeah, pretty close. Maybe like 1,600 MMR. Now, that being said, 2v2 is a funky scenario where coordination can oftentimes beat raw mechanics. But this is a big one to overcome.
It really is. Now, of course, Steadfast, what you're talking about, coordination versus mechanics, we've absolutely seen some like Masters and Gold or Platinum level teams knock off double Master teams before. Again, we keep going back to this game because it's a weird build and it just sticks in my memory, but the double 7-gate charge lot build, it absolutely was a Masters player and a Gold player knocking off double Master 2s. So it can happen. It's just a little bit rare, but you know, we saw previously, we saw the Diamond 2 Protoss player playing Terran for the first time, knocking off the Master 1 Terran or something like that in our second game of the series. So it can happen.
That it can. And here we go. Spawning up in the top left position of Roskalion, or Roskalion. It is the blue Terran player from UC Irvine, No Name, and his ally, Void.
Ooh. And spawning in the bottom right in the teal, he is, of course, representing the University of Chicago, University of Calgary Omgabananas. He is Rooster. And, of course, the former captain of this team in the purple, she is Maladroit.
And she played Protoss. This is a double cannon rush coming out from Maladroit and Rooster. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be very nifty. Now, it is also a cannon rush coming in from Void. Void going to get a little pocket. Oh, my goodness. That's terrible. That is absolutely brutal.
Oh, and look at this with the force position too. That is actually a really good position there for either Rooster or Maladroit. It doesn't really matter to also get a cannon rush on in. But the pilots are already up. Now we're gonna have to see exactly where these the cannon rush goes for. Now Maladroit.
Well, that's weird. He canceled that. Yeah, no, that was a huge mistake. Why would you ever cancel that? Rooster needs to build a pylon right here before it gets back in. Oh, okay. Oh my. Rooster, come on. He could have.
Rooster was spending all of his energy going on and cannon rushing the other side of the map. Was what was happening there. Now, how do you cast 3 cannon rushes at the same time, Steadfast? I'm getting lost here. But now, of course, so we have the cannon rush here from Maladroit with the gateway on the side. Rooster's getting a pretty good cannon rush up as well, but of course Void just faster than them all and has absolutely knocked Rooster out of this game. There is no counter. Is that? That's not a counter cannon. Yeah, that's not a counter cannon. No counter cannon rushing coming in from Rooster here, losing all of his probes.
There is, yeah, on the base of Void, but it is a very slow progression.
No counter cannons, I mean no defensive cannons to counter the offensive cannons of Void.
Yeah. No, he's lost every probe but one, and that make that zero mining. This is a little bit of a sad ending right here. Void actually has the counter defensive cannon before Rooster does, and there's the oh god, oh man. And the frowny face coming in from Ralladroid. That is going to close it out. A 3-minute game to finish things off here. And man, what a bizarre end to a very aggressive, very weird series.
Yeah, things got just a little bit funky. Things got a little bit funky here. I don't think I've ever seen a triple cannon rush in a 2v2. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, I have not. I can say that with strong degree of confidence.
But now, Steadfast, we know something a little bit more about these teams. University of Calgary absolutely, and UC Irvine deserved their spots in the seeding stage of this tournament. But man, UC Irvine, they weren't a great team last year. Not really. They were good, don't get me wrong, but they really didn't have those ringers that they've been able to recruit this year with Void, with Void, with No Name coming on in here. Really, maybe arguably No Name punching above his weight. Not exactly sure what his MMR is, but having these two ringers at the top of the table is really transforming them into an absolute powerhouse in the Collegiate CEA this year, and they are taking a well-deserved spot at the top of the seeding group here in our first week of split stage.
Yeah, and that is them really, really laying the hammer down, and it is going to be tough to deal with this team. UC Irvine, they have had Veritas, who is a very good player, but doesn't quite have that strength of Void that you kind of talked about a little bit there. And it's cool to see them still doing so well. Now, yeah, this is a big statement match, I would say. They already beat the University of Chicago team once before, but now it's even more decisive, I would say.
Absolutely. And you got to remember, University of Chicago was the team that killed UCSD when UCSD won the championship last year. They were like the only team to beat them in the Swiss bracket, and they did that with Vindicta deployed, right? They just did such a good job in their 2v2s. In the matchups were not the Vindicta matchup, they were able to punch far above their weight, and that was actually the match that put them into the seeding stage. And I believe they actually came out top 2 in the seeding stage as well. So University of Chicago, well, maybe they struggle in best of 7 because they don't have that depth. Absolutely forces to be reckoned with in the best of 5 stages of this tournament. So being able to 3-1 them is even more of a statement than just, oh yeah, we knocked off the number 4 team in this group, which is already big enough.
Yeah, no, that is a pretty big deal. So it sounds like we are potentially going to get an interview with Void after this one. The leader of the team, the captain, Veritas, normally would be the one to field this one, but he is not here for the week, so we are going to get an interview with Void. Now, Beowulf, before I let you go...
Before you let me go.
Before I let you go.
Well, I think that's
you let us. Sorry, you let the good people know where they can find you. You say your shtick, your spiel.
I'm like, man, Steadfast, where are you going with this? You kind of like get me all hyped up to say something, and you don't say anything. Yeah. Okay, so if you like what I do, make sure to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Beowulf. But also, because I'm in a bunch of different spots, I will be doing some of the World Team League, either Fridays or Sundays, maybe both on the twitch.tv/AlphaX. I do a bunch of different stuff. It's all over the place. It's too hard to just track what I'm doing. Just follow me on Twitter at Beowulf_SC2. I always tweet where and when and how I'm going live, unless, of course, I'm streaming with Steadfast to CEA, because apparently I always forget to do that one. But for everything else, I tweet where and when, how, why I'm going live. So follow me there. Follow me on Twitch. And that's going to be just about it. But how about you, Steadfast? Where can they find you?
Same thing. You can follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/Beowulf. No, I'm just kidding. Twitch.tv/SteadfastSC. Twitter.com/SteadfastSC2. I guess you can follow my Instagram that I never post on. Steadfast Space SC2, I think. And then same thing. Got some cool stuff coming down the pipeline, I should say. Discord is a good place to take a look, but you can find that on my Twitch page. Yeah. Been doing lots of StarCraft stuff, really pushing hard on that partnership program, and we are going to see if we can set up that interview, and we will be right back. Before I let you go for the evening, any closing thoughts there, Beowulf?
You know what? I think I already shared them. Congratulations, of course, to UCI for putting themselves at the top of the table of the seeding bracket, and I cannot be more excited to see more of what we're gonna see from UCI, from University of Chicago, because of course both teams here, they are guaranteed a spot in playoffs, regardless of what happens over the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited to see that, and also excited to watch the interview. So it's going to be a good time.
Sounds good, sounds good. And we will be right back. All right, everyone, we are back with the man, the myth, the legend himself, the ace, the new ace of UCI. It is Sky Toss Man, Carrier Man. It's Void. How are you doing? Introduce yourself for the people at home.
Hey everyone. My name's Nathan. I'm actually a third-year student at UC Santa Barbara, but I was able to kind of cop a place on the UCI team because I'm taking a class over there. If you've seen my play style, it's not exactly the most standard, but I kind of like toying with my opponents, kind of getting them a little bit confused and not quite too comfortable. So that's a little about me.
Cool. Yeah. No, it's definitely very effective. I think from like minute one, like with the 15 Nexus, like the no pylon, that's already a little bit discombobulating because you look at it and you're like, oh, that's vulnerable to a 12 pool. And then they try and 12 pool and you have a cannon and a full wall and they're like, well, crap. I'm just super behind. Yeah. Where'd you kind of come up with the, I guess just on a personal side, where'd you come up with like the concept for the, I guess, unique and weird style?
Well, I kind of figure, like, just generally my philosophy on video games is just like you play it to have fun, right? So
Yeah.
I realized I wasn't really having fun, going through like a stock standard kind of process of, oh, let's build it 2 gateways and send 2 adepts across the map and try and kill as many drones or something like that. Yeah, this kind of play style just kind of suited me. It helped me continue playing the game when otherwise, it might have been a little bit stale or boring. Yeah, and as you mentioned, the 15 Nexus build, I think it's really great because it's like not quite as good as the standard Nexus first build, but it's confusing enough, and when opponents try and hard counter it, they tend to lose even more. So yeah, it's just a fun little mind game that I do.
Yeah, no, it's definitely just the way that it works out. It definitely ends up creating a scenario where you give your opponents just enough rope to hang themselves, like to use a little bit of a gruesome analogy, but it's kind of the best way to describe it, I would say. So you mentioned that you're from Santa Barbara, but you're taking a class at UC Irvine. First thing, I mean, what's the class? Just out of curiosity, just tell us about it.
Yeah, so I'm an econ major, but apparently a lot of the classes were filling up, especially because of COVID online. There's a lot of more people taking courses, so I kind of had to go to a different university just to take some of the requirements for my major.
Makes sense.
And the class is something about investment decision making. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just starting it.
Nice. When to invest into cannons, when to invest into upgrades. Yeah.
How many greedy bases to build? Something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is actually a cool opportunity because I don't think we've had anyone from Santa Barbara. So normally what I do is I like to ask captains or whatever, name a fun fact about the university that other people might not know about. So what can you tell us about, I guess, Santa Barbara? And then if there's something you might have heard from the outside looking in about UC Irvine.
Yeah, I'll start with Santa Barbara. Let's see. We got a couple fun facts. I think one is that we're the only university of California with its own beach. So our university actually owns some coastline. We get to kind of chill over there. As far as UC Irvine goes, I know everyone was trying to like rack their brains for creative things, but it's like, I know there's like a lot of farming going on there. I'm not exactly sure, but I know the some of the crops that are yielded there include like oranges and dirt. So there's like a lot of agriculture, I think. That's the UC Irvine fact.
Yeah, they always joke about UC Irvine's Veritas orange dirt farmer as as a very fun one. There's a lot of cool stuff between the University of California schools, which is awesome to see. What do they use the beach for at Santa Barbara? What is that like? What? Because obviously, like it's nice to have it for the students to hang out at the beach, but I assume, is there like something with marine biology, or is it just literally it's like, nope, we got a beach, you guys have a beach now?
I think marine biology is certainly the excuse for having the beach, but it's definitely not the most common usage. I think it's just for like students to hang out, have a place to be that's a little bit safer. Yeah, it's also just a place to chill, study a little bit before exams.
Fair enough. I mean, that's honestly like the mental health aspect of everything is always underrated. So it's good to see that.
Yeah.
So we're actually seeing some conflicting stuff in the chat from Lumon. He actually mentions that they actively recruited you. So tell us a little bit about how you ended up on the UC Irvine team.
So I actually messaged Antis, who is a pretty strong GM player from UC Irvine, just saying, hey, is there a spot on the team? I'd love to play. And UC Santa Barbara doesn't have enough people. And of course, I like winning. So I kind of found the winning team, identified them, and like just messaged them saying, hey, if you need an extra player, let me know. And apparently they need an extra player.
Well, it's a little bit less exciting than some big recruitment drive, but still that's kind of neat. Now, obviously I can't talk too much about like the preparation since, well, actually maybe you can tell me a little bit about how much preparation went into this week. But I guess for you personally, what's your goal in the league?
I'll start with the preparation because that's a little bit easier. I really just try and play a few ladder games here and there whenever I have free time. And I actually ran into both I Love Oof and Yo-Yo on ladder in the last 24 hours. So it's kind of exciting to get a rematch. I lost to both of them actually. So
oh, wow.
To kind of get my revenge on stream. Yeah, they're both really great players, so that was fun. Yeah. In terms of me personally in the league, I just kind of wanted a way to get a little bit active within the scene. I know it's kind of difficult to connect with other people who are playing the same video games with you, even though it's completely online, especially because of COVID, there's not as many opportunities to meet people.
Yeah.
And it felt like a great one. Maybe flex on a few noobs here and there, but all for good fun.
Absolutely, I feel that. Well, honestly, this is a great way to do it. I'm glad we were able to get you on here. It was a good interview. You're a charming guy. Don't for anyone at home, don't let his Sky Toss style fool you. He's not the monster you think he is. A wonderful dude and a wonderful set of games. Before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to say to the people at home?
No, just a shout out to my whole team, both the people who were able to play and those who weren't. Everyone's like a really great community. I think we're forming really cool bonds, and I hope to continue playing StarCraft 2 for years to come, right until Blizzard kind of pulls the plug. So we're rooting for us. Go UCI.
Hey, yeah. Let's go. That's perfect. All right, have a wonderful afternoon. Everyone at home, same thing. And thank you very much for the interview, my dude.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. All right, once again, that was Void from UC Irvine. Not the captain, of course. Veritas, the orange dirt farmer, was not available, but still a very cool guy. And it's nice to always see someone who plays, maybe you're like, oh, what a frustrating style, but you're like, oh, they're such a nice person. Like, you can't be mad at that. And, well, that is going to do it for us for the... for the cast, from myself and Beowulf and everyone at CEA, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, rest of your weekend, and stay safe.